finished here, or not finishing the job? All right, well, you were able to get out to a nice lead, and every time they tried to counterpunch, you guys were able to respond. Really didn't matter, it seemed like who was in there. A lot of different guys.
Yeah, we're fortunate that today was a good day for our offense. The kids did a nice job executing. Josh did a really good job of, seeing what was out there, things we wanted to stay away from, and things that we liked. And I thought that the kids did a really good job on offense. And exactly as you said, being able to come back and answer all the things that should not have been happening to our defense that did. Jeff did a great job coaching today. He came up with some nice little wrinkles that worked well against us, and they played a great game. It's a really good team, and they're going to continue to get better every single week. But just very disappointed, the last couple of weeks in how our defense has played. We're getting worse every week, not better, and that's disappointing.
Is that more on the scoring plays, like failure to cover on those two wheel routes, or just allowing third down conversions?
Yeah, you know what it is. It's the obvious stuff. Like when it's third and long, and the kid says, I was supposed to be the deep guy on that. Like, yeah, it's third and long. So there are little things like that. We're making mental mistakes, and I think a lot of them today were the kids were hot, tired. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. Beverly's wearing all black uniforms, playing on the same field we are, and yet we look like we're in the middle of Burma. So it's it was a difficult conversation at halftime to tell the kids that short of their mom coming out on the field and bringing them lemonade, I don't know what they were looking for. Like, we're playing a team that's in the same weather that we're in. But we really looked tired out there. We really looked hot on defense, and then on offense we suddenly had a fresh breath of air. So it's hard to explain, and it's some things that we've got to fix. I don't really know how to explain. I got to take a look at film. Again, I don't want to take away anything from those guys do a great job and did some things that really caught us off guard. But we're better than what we showed today.
Jim, they've just been a little bit too amped? I mean, a lot was said about this particular game against Beverly, who's been coming on throughout the season. You guys still undefeated. Could they have just been a little bit amped to stop Beverly?
I think a little of that was kind of last week against Masco. I think that's a great point. I think that's exactly what happened to us last week. One of the things with this week, though, that's different for us, not for necessarily Beverly, but for us, we got that extra day of practice because it's a Saturday team. We haven't played a Saturday team all year, so we really felt like, boy, we've got this is tight. We really, that extra day of practice to go over, kind of extra day of film, extra day of everything, to be able to cover every little nuance. And the kids felt good about it. We felt good about it. And then to come out and not execute. And again, it was, on when they needed they needed 5 yards, they needed this or they needed that, and each time they got what they needed when they needed it. And yet when they didn't really need something, a 1st and 10 or whatever, and then we could stop them. So it was, when they needed to focus, they were able to focus. And kudos to Coach Hutton. When our defense needed to focus, we were completely unfocused. We weren't recognizing some unbalanced things that we did, and that's not okay. That's not okay. Especially, like I said, we had an extra week of practice, and you recognized it every single time. So I think some of it is kids passing the responsibility, wanting well, I thought he was gonna I thought I only called this, and making the 11 understand that all 11 of you are responsible for everything. It's not the safety's job to do this or the outside linebacker's job to do that. We'd like to have all 11 of you guys doing the same thing.
The big thing that I noticed the first time I've seen you guys this year was your ability to punch back right away. Beverly scored, you came back with a big play. Long pass play, almost immediately. In the next series, you're down the field 70 yards. You're down the field 47 yards, and you're within quick striking distance for another touchdown.
Yeah, the nice thing was that was kind of the design of what we kind of saw our offense doing more of this year. But we've gotten into some slugfest with some people where we did things a little bit differently than we thought we were going to be doing in the beginning of the year. We thought we'd be just chucking the ball down the field a little bit more. Against some of the teams that we were playing, and then you saw what the teams were doing against other teams, and you went, okay, maybe that's not such a great idea. We did work on that this week, making sure that we could get chunks, at a time, because we figured Beverly was going to probably really clog up the middle with blitzes and try to take some things away there. And so I think we did a nice job, getting after their edge. establishing the edge for ourselves a little bit, but at the same time, seeing some things that we could do with the pass game, and Josh did a really good job with that. He was on. There was one too that he should have had that just came out of his hand a little bit weird, but he did a good job. He saw all the things that we wanted him to see, and had a really good game. Probably his best game of the year.
I was going to say 313. Is that a career high for him?
I think even sophomore year he might have did a little bit more than that, but that's a lot. Yeah, that's.
I know we talked about him pregame, but Craig really had a terrific game today.
Craig's a beast, and like I said, no one ever outworks Craig. Craig is an extremely talented kid, so I don't want to take away from his physical talents, but you take the physical talents that he has and you put the mindset of work that Craig has. I know every year we say, he's the best kid I've ever coached, but no one outworks Craig Michalowski. He really, he puts the work in, and any of the kids will tell you when you're with the receivers and you want to give an example of this is how this should look, it's always Craig. Because Craig, is a perfectionist at the craft of being a wide receiver, which is different than a kid that just has a super amount of talent that just can outplay everybody at wide receiver.
Tell me if I'm wrong here too. I'm trying to watch the line play and see who's playing well, especially offensively, the way you were moving today. AJ Adriano, I thought he played very well.
Yeah, AJ and especially
somebody maybe I could spotlight.
Yeah, AJ and especially Jack Anashansley. You never hear his name mentioned. Yeah. And Jack literally has played, I think, every single play this year on the offensive line, and probably has the highest line scores, of all of our guys when we grade them out.
Where's he playing?
Jack is our right guard.
Okay. Does he got a defensive line too?
Mostly just offense. He's one of the guys. We rotate most of our guys on defense, but.
Okay.
Jack is most famous for having a last name that no one can pronounce on first try, but other than that, he's done a really great job. He's just solid. He's just a kid that you don't yell at a lot for doing anything wrong.
How big is he?
Jack is maybe right there in the white cutoff. So yeah, Jack's probably 210. Jack, you owe this man money. No, just kidding.
Hey Jack, I'm Phil, Sale News. Hey, nice to meet you. Can I grab you a picture? I think we want to make you one of our Gridiron Gems of the Week, if that works for you. Works for you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Instant fame with
I'm
Phil.
a huge fan of the kid.
I would not have been able to pronounce your last name, Jack.
Who's up next, Coach, for you?
So next opponent we have is Danvers, but we have a bye week, which couldn't come at a better time because we've been fairly injury-free all season. And then this game today, we've had a bunch of things happen. So we have a broken collarbone, we have cramps for some of the other kids, but a lot of guys limping around, and so hopefully we can get guys healthy for the Danvers game in 2 weeks. So
was the 10 o'clock start any kind of a factor to the kids today? Because no one plays 10 o'clock anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure why Beverly did that. I know that, back in the day, you used to always talk about, back when Gloucester had those great teams, you wanted to play them on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Saturday morning, 10 a.m. was the optimal time to play a Gloucester team. You did not want to see them on a Friday night. I don't think there's so much of that anymore because so many of us, like we lift at 6 o'clock in the morning. So getting up for, getting the kids to the high school at 7 or 6:30, whatever time the kids were there, wasn't a big deal. So I don't really know if there's an advantage. I think we're fortunate that we weren't in this heat, later in the day. So it actually worked out, I think.
I made the comment in the booth that, geez, back when I was growing up, everybody started at 10 o'clock on a Saturday. Then I was reminded how long ago that actually was.
Because there wasn't electricity.
There were no lights.
There were no lights. And I was at Beverly for 4 years, and we played day games, and it's more about a rhythm. Like you get when you play on a Friday night, it's a little bit weird, but the excitement makes up for that. And I think here, our kids come out to herd and they get excited. You never get to play on this,
right?
And so for that, I don't think there's really any advantage one way or the other, but. 10 a.m. was a little bit odd. The nice thing is to have the rest of the day Saturday, something we're not used to. But yeah, today more than anything else was for us just about getting healthy or keeping healthy or keeping the train moving. And I think Jeff did a great job and kind of almost knocked us off the track. And
thanks, nice to meet you.
We'll see what happens in Danvers.
Great, thanks, Jim.
Yeah.